inevitably, one of these three has to be the Kevin Love, the Bosh of this situation.
Sure. Yeah, I 100% agree, and obviously it was Harden in that example used before in regards to the Young Thunder. Right. Now, the difference with that is that, I mean, obviously them being younger, Harden being a rookie and everything like that, but Harden a lot of times was either coming off the bench or, he was taking a lot of the bench minutes at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm kind of wondering how they're going to do this. Are they going to try to stagger, where you have maybe either Kyrie or Harden play? I can't see it being Harden. I just can't put my mind past thinking that Harden is going to just all of a sudden be that Manu Ginobili coming off the bench or start but play mostly against bench players. I can't see him doing it, and I really can't see Kyrie doing it either, to be honest. So if I would pick Kyrie over Harden to be that, but that that's really, I think, how the fit has got to be. You got to kind of stagger a little bit to have that Manu Ginobili type thing, and then the final 7-8 minutes of the game, they're all out there. I think that's the ultimately best path for them to go. But yeah, in regards to someone taking the Robin the back seat, I guess who do you think it's inevitably going to be?
Well, it's inevitably going to be Kyrie.
Okay.
It has to be. Because Harden is just flat out better.
So my counter to that is, for sure, Harden's flat out better. And Harden, I think it might be Kyrie only in the sense because whatever the hell's going on with himself and he's alienating himself. But I could also see KD doing it only because I just think KD can be better. He can do more stuff off the ball. I mean, he can do everything else. He can be that glue. They're going to need him to defend, every team's best players. They're going to need him to go get boards. They're going to need him to kind of be, that glue piece. So, which kind of hurts though, because KD, you don't want to take the ball out of his hands because he's probably the best player on the team.
Well, that's it. I agree with you. He's obviously the guy that is most seamless as kind of the third banana. And he, I think, is probably the most unusual player in this circumstance from that perspective, because he could be the guy that you're looking at as the number one. He could be the guy that you're looking at as the number two, or he could play that Chris Bosh. He could be any of the big three on any given night. And, I mean, he does have the kind of personality where he might be okay with it on
yeah.
But inevitably, at the end of a game, I mean, who do you want the ball to be in their hands more than Kevin Durant on this team?
Right, no, for sure. And I don't even think that goes without question. And that's going to be the difference, is that, is Harden going to be able to not want the ball, with 5 minutes to go in a playoff game? And unfortunately, that hasn't been successful.
Well, yeah, so I think that Harden is still going to have the highest usage.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to change. We keep hearing that Harden all of a sudden is going to have to learn to play with the team again. I don't think so. I don't think he'll need to be honest.
No, I don't think so either. I think his usage will be lower, obviously. But
especially with Kyrie out. Again, the Kyrie is obviously whatever the hell that is.
We'll get into that. Just from a fit perspective, I mean, look, I want the ball in his hand more so than I think Kyrie anyway, just not even from like a perspective of, oh, he's such a great scorer. He's still one of the best playmakers in the league.
Oh, for sure.
And that's the difference between some of these super teams. Like, he kind of can fit in anywhere just from a skill set perspective. Mentality-wise, obviously, that's what we need to see. But he also, I think he has to be at the point where he's like, I'm going to have to sacrifice a little bit. Because if not, if all he was doing was, hey, I'm trying to get buckets, you just stay in Houston and do that forever. He wants to go to Brooklyn, obviously, to play with his friends, be in a major city, and have a legitimate shot at winning a championship. So I do think we'll see, mentality-wise, a shift from his play style. Because, obviously you would say, well, why didn't that happen in Houston with Russell Westbrook or Chris Paul, whatever? And that's because the team was built around him.
Right.
This is very much so not built around him. He's coming in from an outside perspective, and I think that makes it a little bit different.
No, I agree for sure. I think Harden's too fucking good. It's not like Harden... It's not like he's not like Russ, where Russ needs the ball in his hand, and Russ without the ball, he's not a great off-ball player. There's just not much in Russ's arsenal that he can offer if he's not carrying the ball at a high usage. James Harden is still a great fucking shooter. He can still drive and kick. He can do whatever. Russ can't shoot. It's hard to be an off the ball player guard when you can't shoot the ball. So that being said, realistically, Harden can do it all offensively. There's no secret there. And he's gifted enough to do whatever, and that's not the question. Their offense is going to be sick. Their offense was already good. It's not like it got worse. Their offense is going to get even better. They still can't defend anybody, but I mean, I love the fit for Joe Harris. Joe Harris should just get straight buckets now.
He might shoot like 85% the rest of the way.
I mean, he might not have a hand in his face the rest of the season.